everyone. So today we are going to talk about OCI data integration and how we can extract data from Fusion apps, specifically in this case from ERP cloud. So for this session, I'm making the assumption that you are already familiarized with OCI data integration. So I'm not going to introduce the product and show you the basic features and how to use it in general. I'm going straight to the point, how you can configure, in this case, BICC, Business Intelligence Cloud Connector, in order that you can extract data from the ERP and load it into autonomous database. Okay, so let's do it. Here, before I move on, let me just introduce myself. My name is Elói Lopes. I'm data integration specialist. I'm working with OCI data integration and other data integration tools. So what we are going to see during the presentation, basically, or during the demo, I don't have presentation. Basically, we are going to create a connection in the BICC, so in the Business Intelligence Cloud Connector, that is a component from the Fusion apps, okay, that allows you to interact and to extract data from the different applications. After, we are going to create a connection from OCI data integration to BICC, and the last step is to create a data flow where we extract data from a view object, that is the name of the objects that contains the data from the ERP, and after you see the data on autonomous data warehouse. Okay, so let me just switch to the Oracle Cloud, and now here you see that I'm in the Oracle Cloud homepage. Now, what I'm going to do it first, I'm going to switch to other tab where I have already the BICC open. Okay, so if you see this, basically you just need to put the URL of your Fusion apps, okay, and after /BIACM, okay, and you are going to be redirect to this page. Once you are here, you need to navigate here to the left side and click on this second icon, that is to configure external storage. Okay, so you click on the link, and now I have here by default, but in case that you don't have it, you need to click here on the OCI object storage connection. Okay, so what you are going to do it, we are going to connect the connection from this tool BICC to the object storage, in order that after when we create the data flow, what is going to do it is to first connect to the Fusion, extracting the data to the object storage, and after the data from the object storage is going to be moved to the data warehouse. Okay, so to create this connection, you need to recollect some parameters that are needed. So you click here on the plus sign, and now here's just the name, okay, for the connection. So I have here by default BICC, but can be something completely different. Okay, now here the host is the host of the object storage. So in this case, I'm using an object storage that is on Frankfurt region. Okay, so what I'm going to do it, I'm going to put this link, so that is generic and basically is the host of the API. So it's object storage.region. In this case, is my Frankfurt region.oracle.com. So if you are using a different region, let's suppose that is UK London, it should be UK-London-1, something like that. Okay, so you can confirm that on documentation. Now, the next one, you need the tenancy OCI ID. So you can find the tenancy OCI ID if you navigate here on the Oracle Cloud, and after on the right side under profile, you can click here on tenancy, and after you see here, this is the OCI tenancy ID. You just need to click on copy and paste here. Now the same for user OCI ID. So you need to go to your user. This is my user, and now I just need to copy and to paste as well. Okay, so that's as simple as you are seeing. Now the namespace is from the bucket that you are going to use it. Okay, so we now need to navigate to the object storage. We have here buckets, and I have two buckets, so I'm just going to pick one. and you see here namespace. So I'm going to copy this namespace and to paste. Now the bucket is the bucket name, in this case it's bucket Elói, and I need to paste. Okay, so now the next step is to generate an OCI API signing key. So that is going to allow you to establish a secure connection between the BICC and the object storage. So you need to click on generate API signing key, and it's going to generate a fingerprint. Okay, and now you need to click on export public key. Okay, so I'm going to click on export public key, and probably I think you are not seeing, but if you are, basically I have here now a file that is OCI API underscore pub.pem, P-E-M. Okay, so we will need this file. So what now we need to do it? We need to create an API key on the object, not on object store, for your user. Okay, so now again I go here to profile, I click on my user, I go to API keys, and now here I have already the limit that is 3, so I'm just going to delete one that I don't need. So of course, if you have enough API keys to add, you don't need to delete them. Now I click here on add API key, and I'm going to click on choose a public key file, and now I'm going just to navigate. Let me just do it and drag and drop the file. So this is my file that I've just downloaded, and I'm going to add it. Okay, so this is going to generate this. If you want, you can copy, but right now you won't need it. Okay, so now you just need to confirm that this fingerprint that is here is exactly the same as this one. So as you can see, it is. So now click first save. Okay, so we are going to click save, and now here on this wheel, just click on just click on test connection, and you should receive this message saying that the external storage connection succeeded. So that means that now we have connectivity between the BICC and the object storage. So this is the first part. So we are here. Okay, so now we are going to this part to create a connection in OCI Data Integration to this BICC. So what we need to do it, so I need to navigate again to the Oracle Cloud. So now here under Analytics and AI, you have here data integration. So you click on it. So I expect that you are already familiarized with this and you have already a workspace. So I click on my workspace, and now I'm going to data assets, that basically the connections that we can create for in this case for BICC. So before I move on, I have here already, for example, a connection created to my target that will be ADW. Okay, and also I have another one for object storage. So if you are using ADW, also you are going to need a connection to object storage, just as a heads up. Okay, so if you are using for example, an Oracle database that is not autonomous, you won't need it. Now let me just click here on create data asset, and here you have all the connectors. But if you go to application, you see that you have one that is Fusion Apps BICC. Okay, and that's the option that you need to select. Now I selected. Now I'm going to give a name, for example, in this case it's ERP 12. Okay, now here by default, of course, is Oracle Fusion Applications, and now you need to copy the host. So you can copy the host of your Fusion apps, but just copy the host name without HTTPS. Okay, so we don't want to include HTTPS, so it's just basically something.com. Okay, now if I scroll down a little bit, here we have the connection. So by default the name is default connection, but you can give a different name. Okay, it's not mandatory to have this one. Here I'm going to click on Oracle BI Cloud Connector. Okay, and now the username, so it's the username, in this case it's Lisa.Jones. Okay, so after I'm going to attach some links. This username should have a specific privileges that are needed in order to have access to PICC and to do all this stuff. Okay, so I'm just to keep it simple, I'm not going here to explain everything. I'm just adding after the documentation in the video description. Okay, so here will be Lisa.Jones, and here I'm going to use the password just to let you know that in a couple of months or weeks, it's going to be mandatory to have Vault secret OCI ID. So if you are creating now, I recommend already to use the secret ID instead of the password. But again, just for this video, I'm using the plain password. Okay, so let me just copy. And now this should be start loading. And here you should see the connection that we created. So in this case, as I gave the name BICC, it's here BICC. But if you give, for example, if you put here OCI Data Integration or connect to BICC, is going to show up here connect to BICC. The last step is to test the connection, and I hope that is working. So you see here is successful. Now I'm going to create it, and it's what I was explaining, saying that support for using passwords will be deprecated soon. Recommend using the Vault option and storing your credential in Vault. Okay, so we click on continue, and I have here already the connection created. So let me just close these tabs. Now, if I go back here, I've already done this part, and now the second point, that is just to create a connection. Now we are going to the last one, that is just pick a simple view object and just extract the data and load it into Autonomous. Okay, so let me just go back to now. Here you have two options to do it. Again, since I said I'm not going to explain everything, you on OCI Data Integration you have two options to load data. One is the data loader task. Again, is for simple loads, one-to-one, mainly, or many-to-many, but without transformations. And the other one is the data flow. So in this case, I'm going to show you the data flow, but you also could use the data loader. It's up to you, of course, depending on what you want to implement. Now, let me just click on data flow, and here on the left side under operators, what I'm going to do is just to drag and drop, in this case the source. Okay, and I'm going configuring the source. So on data asset, you are going to select the one that you created. In my case, it's ERP Cloud. Now here under connection is the default connection. Now here schema. So let me just take a step back and show you a little bit. Probably you are already familiar with this part. So basically here, if we go to BICC, you see that you have what they call it offerings, and inside of these offerings, what we call it here is our schemas. Okay, after we have the data. So in my case, I'm using here the financial data, that is for Oracle Financial Analytics. Okay, and if I click on this one, you are going to see a long list of view objects. So because mainly the Oracle doesn't give access to the tables, it gives access to some views, and those views select basic data from tables. Okay, so here you need to have some functional knowledge about what you want to extract. Okay, so that in the end is what we are going to do it. I'm just going to pick one from here and use it. In this case, I'm going to pick one that is the subledger transaction line. Okay, so let me just copy. In this case, first I'm going to select financial. Okay, that's important. And then here on data entities, where you select this data store. Okay, so now let me just do it. Here, let me just click on view all, because I really need to search. Okay, so I'm just going to paste the one that I want to find. That in the end is this one. So it's here. So I just need to select and select, and that's it. Now let me just also search it here. So we have here a filter option. So if let me just copy the entire name. So if I paste here the entire name, I should be able to find it. Yeah, it's here. So now if I click on this data store, just some seconds, it's already here, but let me just explain. So here you have access to basically the columns that you are going to read. So it's a long list of columns. So this is not the main goal of this video, is not to export the BICC, but just to let you know that after you can select the columns that you need and add more columns in case that those are available. Okay, so now let me just go back again to the BICC, sorry, to the OCI Data Integration, I mean. Now here you have two options to extract the data. You have the full and you have the incremental. In this case, for this example, I'm just going to use the full, and as the name suggests, it's going to load everything. If you select incremental, I'm assuming that previously you had a full extraction, and basically the incremental is just picking the delta records. Okay, we have a blog, I believe, about incremental. If not, after we can also create a video about this, but it's basically the incremental. It contains here on the BICC a date column, and that date column is the one that is going to be the most important to bring the incrementals. So here I'm going to keep the full, and now here again, don't forget you need to select again the connection. That in this case this will be ESCC. And so the part of the source is done. Now again, after you could even drag more sources from different sources. I mean, it can be Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, and so on. And you could create here something a little bit more complex. In this case, I'm just going to drag a target, okay, and just do a simple mapping. In this case, the mapping, the target will be for autonomous data warehouse that I have already. So let me just pick here the connection. Here the schema will be admin schema in my case. Now, if you have already the structure created on your target, you just need to select here from data entity. Okay, in my case I don't have it, so I'm going to select this checkbox that is create new data entity, and what I'm going to do it is to assign a name to this new table. Okay, so this new table will be, for example, subledger. I hope I don't have any typo. No, subledger transaction. Sorry, transaction line, for example. Okay, and I click select. And now let me just I forgot, let me just connect them. And here, since I'm going to create the target, I just have this option that is insert, okay, to load the data. So I can change the name. So let me just put, for example, a different name, for example, data flow subledger. Okay, I can save it. Let me just select the folder where I want to save this. So in this case, I have this folder. Okay, and let me just validate. All good. So since just a very brief explanation here, since I'm going to create a target, we don't need to map between the source and the target, okay? But you always can check all the attributes, and if you remember, so I showed you here also the same long list of columns, okay, that you have here. So I'm just going to click on create and close. Now we are almost there. I'm going to click on projects, cloud coaching, and here I have data flow, so the data flow that I created. And now for a data flow, we always need to create a task, and it's an integration task. So let me just put integration task here, subledger. And now I select the data flow, and it's going to validate again, so it's going to take some seconds. So it should be almost done. Let me just yeah, it's done. Now I am going to click on create and close, and we are almost there. Now we always have to publish the tasks into an application, and what is I'm going to do it. So I have here this application, and I click on publish, and now this basically what it's doing is applying an update to the application, and I just need to wait a little bit until this is done. Meanwhile, after we are going to see here the task, okay, that right now is still updating, and you, even that I'm not going to do it, you always have the option after to schedule tasks or pipelines or whatever you want, okay? So let me just paste success. So now I should see here, and this it is. Now let me just click on run. And while it's running, so first basically is preparing the environment, okay? So it's still on not started. Actually it's just trying to prepare, and now it's already on queue, and after it will be on running. And meanwhile, let me just here on, this is my autonomous, okay? So if I search for sub, I don't have any table here so far, okay? So after I expect to have a table. So now if I refresh, it's still on queue. This execution is going to take more or less 2 minutes and 40 seconds, okay? So we just need to wait a little bit. It's still queue, and now it's already on running, okay? So these first 40 seconds are not charged to the customer, okay? So just during the running state, okay? So basically it's a way that is the preparation task that is done by the tool. So we just need to wait those seconds, okay? Now, as I said, it's going to take around 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Now if I go back here to BICC, meanwhile you see here that let me just show you. After we are going to have, you see here last extract date. After you should have here a tag about this last extract date, okay? Also, something that we should expect is that during this extraction, if I open here a new tab, let me see if I have enough time. What is going to do it is going to create some files here, okay, on my object store. So I just need to search. So today is 24. Yeah, you see I have it here. Yeah, exactly. So it's creating these files here. So you see I have here already, this one basically is where that contains the data, but after in the end it cleans up the files. That's why I was saying that I wasn't sure if I could see them or not, because the last step of this it's already finished. It took a little bit less. Now if I go here, if I refresh this, I have already now this table, and if I run this, I have here the data from the table from that view. Okay, so that's it. So this was just a simple example how you can connect to in this case to the ERP cloud, but could be to HCM and so on. And let me just recap. So what we've seen was how to configure connection BICC. After, from OCI Data Integration, how we can connect to the BICC. And in the end, we created data flow where we capture data from sub-ledger transaction line and load it into autonomous data warehouse. Okay, in case that you have any doubt, please let us know. You can join the Slack channel, or even send us an email. Okay, thanks a lot for your time. See you.